In this WrestleTalk news, could Brock Lesnar be set to retire following WrestleMania? Yet another Lacey Evans social media controversy and Tempest review of last night's Smackdown. Subscribe and enable notification to always on for daily wrestling news videos.
Support WrestleTalk!
Happy Saturday day, ladies and gentlemen. With just 4 weeks today until WrestleMania 39 Night 1, I think it is officially acceptable to get hyped. I mean, why wouldn't you? Just think of the perspective card. Cody versus Roman, the Usos versus Owens and Zayn, and the one I'm looking most to, Omos versus Lesnar. Yes, I am an Homo sapien, and there'll be no homophobic comments in the section. Quoted to the PW Insider Elite, who published a report on Lesnar and his turning down of a proposed match with Bray Wyatt at Mania, noted that Lesnar was bidding farewell to many backstage at Raw on Monday. The report states that Lesnar told several people he was finishing up, seemingly suggesting that he may be done with the WWE fairly soon. While PW Insider does emphasize that Lesnar's remarks may not be related to a retirement, WWE exit, or simply a break from the company, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Again, Omos versus Brock Lesnar, I'm ready for the Mania moment. Sticking with WWE, and it looks like there may be more trouble afoot for SmackDown's Lacey Evans. And would you look at that? It's to do with social media activity again. Ooh. All right, Tempest, I know how you feel. In late December 2022, Evans faced some serious heat for a post related to autism and ADD, in which Evans shared a conspiracy theory that neither existed. She would later delete the controversial posts and her social media altogether, and would re-emerge on screen at the January 27th episode of SmackDown with a rebooted character and a Cobra Clutch. You hate that Cobra Clutch, don't you, Tempest? I like it. However, over a month on from her return, it looks like Lacey's back in the news for the wrong reasons again. This time relating to posts related to anxiety and depression. In the post shared to her Instagram story, Evans listed ways that 99% effective against both conditions, including such pearls of wisdom as make more money, mind your fucking business. Gotta love that guy, Tempest. Naturally, these weren't quite taken as constructive or helpful tidbits of knowledge from Evans, instead leading to many on social media, including AEW star The Bunny, to respond saying, to suggest that simply exercising, eating a certain way, working more, etc., etc., etc. will cure your mental illness is harmful and perpetuates the notion that mental health issues aren't actual illnesses. Whew. Guys, it's currently unclear whether her post would draw heat backstage in WWE, but stay tuned. And now, the moment you guys have been waiting for. Hot tag. Come on, Tempest, give me the hot tag right here. Yeah.
Where's the rest of the intro? You're looking fresh, you got the t-shirt on and everything, but...
All right, I must confess, guys, I've been looking at the comments. I see how everyone likes our hot tags, so I felt pressured to come up with something great, and I couldn't. I choked on the spot. So I feel bad.
Is it me?
No, it's not you.
Did I do something wrong?
It's not you, it's just me. I need to work on myself. But I love you still.
So we open SmackDown with Washington, D.C. acknowledging Roman Reigns, which, as I understand it, means Roman is the new president of the United States. That's how politics work, right? We then got a lovely surprise, that being a rare SmackDown appearance from #1 contender Cody Rhodes. Cody asks Roman if he needs his backup, and Roman sends the bloodline to the back and lays both belts in the middle of the ring and asks Cody what he wants to talk about. Lovely stuff. Cody tells Roman that he has become legend and beating him has become impossible. Just like becoming more than Randy's understudy was impossible, just like surviving Stardust or 10,000 people buying tickets to see he and his friend's little indie show was impossible. Haha. I understood that reference. But he does the impossible, and every time someone moves the goalposts, he punches it through the uprights. Roman talks about Dusty, saying he was groomed for this not only by his father, but by Cody's father too. He says Dusty told him he had it, and they would sit and talk for hours about this, and in all of those conversations, he never mentioned Cody. So even though Cody has never main evented WrestleMania, all the lessons Dusty never taught him, Roman will teach him instead. Cody says that Roman didn't send Mr. Heyman to Raw to get inside Cody's head, he went to tell him the truth. And if what Roman is saying is the truth, then beating him at WrestleMania becomes a necessity, and at Mania, may the best man win. They shake hands, and Roman exits. No beatdown, no brawl, just solid promos reinforcing this story between Roman and Cody. We are getting to the point that the animosity could be ramped up between these two. Cody spent most of his promo time here talking up Roman, and while that doesn't hurt, it would be good for Cody to talk about how much better of a champion he will be compared to the evil Roman Reigns. Not bad by any means, but it's time to get in the next gear. 4 out of 5. Rhea Ripley then took on Liv Morgan in another tag team partner amnesia match. Liv got a ton of good offense in, hitting a number of code breakers off the ropes, but she went to the well one too many times, allowing Rhea to counter the code breaker and hit the riptide before locking in the inverted cloverleaf for the win. She turned this into the lion tamer version of the move with her knee on the back of Liv's head too. Nasty stuff, 3 out of 5. Rhea Ripley is going to win that title, and she absolutely should. She is ready. Roman Reigns is backstage with the Bloodline, and he asks where Jay is, and Jimmy says he's not here. Jimmy says Jay needs more time, and Roman asks how much time. Jimmy says Jay feels a little better each day, and Roman says he's running out of patience, not with Jay, but with Jimmy. This storyline is so gosh darn good. Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley are walking backstage, and they are interrupted by Santos Escobar. Santos says he should have punched Dominic last week, but if Dominic is half the man he says he is, he'll meet Santos in the ring right now. We then had an impromptu match between Dom and Santos, with Santos bringing Ray's mask to the ring with him. Dominic comes out and they do a wrestle. There were some parts of this match that just felt a step off, but the constant thread throughout was both men yelling at the other about Ray's legacy. Dom eventually got out brass knucks and distracted the referee, allowing Rhea to hit Riptide on the floor and rolling Santos back into the ring to be hit with a frog splash for the pin. After the match, Dom ripped up Ray's mask, prompting Ray to come out and ask for it back. Dom dropped it on the ground, then cheap-shotted Ray when he went to pick it up, prompting more outrage from Michael Cole. I still don't really care to see Dom's work in the ring, but this storyline has been built up quite well. 3 out of 5. Drew McIntyre comes out and says there are only 4 weeks to go before WrestleMania, and Drew McIntyre doesn't have a match, but he can remedy that by calling out Gunther right now. Sheamus comes out instead and asks Drew what he's doing. He says Drew knows how much the Intercontinental title means to him, and to go behind his back like this makes Drew nothing but a backstabbing bastard. Drew says that Sheamus already had his shot at the title and lost twice. They get interrupted by LA Knight, who says he should have a match at Mania, and he is interrupted by the New Day, who mock Knight and say he can't even win a match on SmackDown, let alone at WrestleMania. They get interrupted by Karrion Kross, who says nothing but starts a brawl with teases of Sheamus and Drew hitting each other and Kross standing tall. It was announced later in the show that the 5 main players of this segment will compete in a fatal 5-way match next week on SmackDown to have the #1 contendership for Gunther's Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. I don't know how they're going to get there, but I have to imagine that Drew and Sheamus will both pin different people at the same time, resulting in a triple threat match at WrestleMania. That's the move, and I can't wait to see it. Tegan Nox was shown brawling with Shayna and Ronda backstage earlier in the day, where Ronda's arm was hurt off screen. We then got Shayna Baszler versus Tegan Nox, and nothing says these two aren't stars like both of them coming out to their partner's music. Shayna beat Tegan quickly, stomping Tegan's elbow and locking in the cross arm breaker for the win. Nothing to it. I don't know if anyone has had a more lackluster return to WWE than Tegan. 2 out of 5. Gunther is backstage and upset that no one has been named his #1 contender, and then Bobby Lashley made a surprise appearance here on SmackDown. Lashley says that Bray Wyatt has been playing games and telling him to run, but he doesn't run from anyone. He says he's come to Bray Wyatt's show SmackDown to tell Bray to come face him man to man. Lashley then gets attacked by Uncle Howdy, but Lashley quickly overpowers him, sets up for the spear, and then the lights go out, and when they come back on, Uncle Howdy is gone, and that is the end of the segment. I care not for Uncle Howdy, Bray Wyatt, or this spooky bullshit. Bobby Lashley deserves better, especially if they're gonna fly him in for 4 minutes of nothing on this show. 2 out of 5. Roman Reigns is backstage with Jimmy, and Jimmy says that Jay told him to leave him the hell alone. Roman starts to say that he can't believe that Jay would do this to him after everything that he has done for Jay. This manipulating bastard. I love Roman Reigns so much. He says all this started because of Sami Zayn, and tonight he wants Jimmy out there with Solo to finish the Sami problem so that Jay will come home. Jimmy walks off, and Roman tells Paul Heyman that Jay has 1 week to get his ass back in the bloodline, and if he doesn't, he isn't blaming Sami, he's blaming Jimmy. This storyline is so fucking good, Seth!
So good!
So good. Hot dog. We then got our main event between Solo Sikoa and Sami Zayn. Roman Reigns was watching backstage, as he's wont to do, and Sami rushed the ring to start the match and hit a big dive to the outside early on, but Jimmy distracted him with their handshake, allowing Solo to get the upper hand. Ultimately, Sami went for a haluva kick, but Jimmy pulled Solo out of the way, and Solo hit the Samoan spike for the win. Boy, these reports weren't kidding about WWE trying to cool off Sami Zayn before WrestleMania. On the other hand, it is nice to see them keeping Solo strong. After the match, Jimmy beat down Sami while Solo got a chair, and they tried to kill Sami with the chair wrapped around his neck, but Sami recovered and hit Solo with the chair and hit Jimmy with a haluva kick as he retreated into the crowd as Roman Reigns looked on despondent backstage. Kinda surprising how nothing this main event was. You get the progression that Jimmy failed to get the job done in ending Sami Zayn, but otherwise this was much less integral to the story than most Bloodline-related main events have been recently. 3 out of 5. Overall, this SmackDown peaked at the very start of the show, and there really wasn't anything else worth going out of your way to see for the rest of the show. There was a number of segments to build up various WrestleMania matches, but outside of Drew and Sheamus teasing dissension, there wasn't a lot to write home about this week. This SmackDown gets a 3 out of 5. And that just about wraps things up from me, but before I go, we have a brand new episode of Survival Series available right now over on Parts Unknown, where the lads try and name every single Intercontinental Champion. You can check that out right now, and you can also watch the uncut version over at patreon.com/WrestleTalk to see everyone's working and everyone's struggles. Make sure you check out me and Pete's live reaction to AEW Revolution tomorrow night, and make sure you check out the SmackDown podcast later today with myself and that man, Sadie Niangi.
I love you!
I love you too. I'm Tempest, and that was wrestling. But look at him. He's cracking already. I haven't even done the intro. Hello and welcome back to everyone's favorite show on Parts Unknown, my favorite show on Parts Unknown.